I feel like everybody talks about growth, but nobody talks about what it costs you.
Or how painful it can be.
And welcome back to #Unfiltered, because someone had to say it. I'm Todd Erickson.
And I'm Carrie Norris.
And we are coming to you today with more of a real talk. But before we get into that, I actually want to say welcome back, Carrie.
Thanks.
How was your week?
It was good.
I know you took off some days so you could spend it with your family.
Yeah, we the kids were on spring break, so we went to the beach and just
Enjoying spring break?
Yeah, just enjoyed spring break. So
Did you do anything else exciting? Did you go out of town or anything?
no, stayed home. That's it.
All right. Well, viewers and listeners, today we want to flip the script a little bit, and we want to come to you on a more real, deeper interaction, I guess, with our discussion that we're having today. And I know that we titled this one as Growth Comes with Goodbyes.
Yep.
And I know that Carrie has a lot planned that she wants to talk about. I know I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. And so I feel like we should kind of just get into it. Like, basically, we always talk about growth. We always talk about the glow up seasons and the things that we do to change ourselves. Yep. But I think we don't talk about the things that cost us or the things that we lost along the way to get where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And
the pain that comes with the progress of,
absolutely.
Of finding growth.
But it's not even just pain. I think it's just eye-opening.
Yeah.
The light bulbs pop on. And so that's what I want us to talk about today. Because I do feel like there are a lot of people out there that are either going through the same thing or have experienced the same thing or are just now starting to realize those things.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're #Unfiltered, so we're here to bring it to you and give you all of our opinions and all the tasty goodness. So we hope that you guys enjoy this episode today.
Absolutely.
So what is something that you've noticed that changed you from the beginning? Like, what did you started to see? What were the signs?
I think so. I'm very vocal in friendships or relationships or whatever. If I'm always looking for growth, and if I'm looking at you and I'm not seeing any progress, I'm not seeing any self-reflection, any accountability, you're always a victim. Those things I have got to grow out of, because the toxicity is going to weigh my wings down, and I'm not going to be able to grow where I'm supposed to be going. Either you're going to grow with me or you're going to be left behind. And that's not me being ugly or anything like that. Like, I still want you to eat just over there,
Absolutely.
just not at my table, because over here we are growing. So I look at things like that. I look at things that if the conversations are is there depth to the conversations? If it is just a conversation of just nothing but gossip every time we talk, I don't want to be a part of it.
Don't get me wrong. I do like a little bit of gossip talk every now and again.
Absolutely. Hands down. But if that is what is consistency of these conversations, there's no growth in that.
Yep.
Like, honestly,
I love some juicy gossip.
I love low maintenance friendships, because when I check in with you, it's like, these are the things going on in my life. These are the things going on in your life. Do you need help? How are you feeling? Where are you at mentally? But the conversations, I was in friend groups where the conversations all day were literally screenshots and talking crap about other people. And eventually you know me?
Yeah.
I'm a silent exiter. I'm like, this is not for me anymore.
I think those are the toxic ones. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been a part of one of those group chats before. And what you start to realize and notice is that you start to mute those group chats. You're not in them anymore. Mm-mm. You start to become a little bit more distant in them. Uh-huh. And nobody can say that they haven't been in that group chat, because I know we all have.
Oh, my favorite is when you start setting that boundary, then you're the problem.
Then all of a sudden they want to know.
And then a new group chat gets started and you're out of it. And you're like, actually, it was a win for me. So,
Well, before we get too deep into that, I wanted to start off the first segment by who we used to be. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to ask you, who were you 5 or 10 years ago versus
10
now?
years ago, I was a mean girl.
I
know we've already talked about this. I wasn't a mean girl. My deliverance was just very blunt and direct, and I didn't care if I hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
You hurt me, I hurt you. Like, that was my mindset. You come after me, I'm coming after you. I would be the one gossiping. I would be the controversial one. I would be the let me plant the seed in your ear of what your friends are talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be the stirrer, because at that time, like, I
So
just sit
were
and
you the type that would do that, but then you would try to give off that facade that, but I'm here to help you. I'm doing
yes,
this to protect you.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now I just take that part out and I'm just like, I'm doing this to protect you, not
That's
like,
fair.
so.
That is growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I would say for myself, about 5 or 10 years ago, I think mine was a little bit different, honestly. I think because I'd gotten out of the military in 2014. So I feel like I would say more like the 10 years ago kind of aspect was more, I was almost trying to refine myself again. Not necessarily with people and all that other kind of stuff. I think I was trying to almost come back to life as a civilian because you're no longer military with that mindset of everything's on a specific routine. This is what you're required to do. And so getting out of the military, it was a deep, dark place for me. And let me put it out there for veterans that are getting out of the military, like that is a real thing. That's where the suicidal thoughts start coming into play. You start questioning everything that you do. And do people want you? And do you have enough to give somebody?
Yeah.
Because the military builds you up with this great resume for when you get out of the military. And then when you get out, everyone tells you you're overqualified for everything.
Yeah.
So where do you start? Where do you go?
Yeah.
No one wants to give you that opportunity because they can't pay you what you're worth.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing, but it also really, really sucks because it's like, I just give me a job.
Yeah.
So 5 or 10 years ago, my mindset was very different than yours. I think I was just trying to jump back into what it was like to be a civilian and turn that switch off of military. So I was having to build new friends because you have military friends, but when you're in the military, you're used to consistently moving, transitioning, they're PCSing. So you may have a friend for a year here and then they're PCS to England. So then you may not see them again.
I think people fail to understand what we're not taught is we are going to go through different seasons ourselves.
Absolutely.
And it's going to come with friends that are there for literally a season or the ones that are going to be there for a reason.
And and I'm okay with the seasonal friends.
Yeah, me too.
I will.
Me too. Some of my best growth came from some of those friendships that were just for a season until I realized they were just that.
Yeah.
The moment that I was ready to grow out of that room, then it became like I saw the signs in these friendships, but when the target's not on your back and it's on someone else's back, you can already expect what to happen when you're leaving. So when I tell you, like the last friend group that I was in, just hype girls, we were, hyper independent on each other, or hyper dependent?
Yeah.
Dependent, yeah. Okay. On each other. And then, I've always been a lover girl. So like when I'm in a relationship, I give it my all. And then when I was getting ready, when I was transitioning into this relationship with Christian, it became, well, you're always focused on him and you're doing this and you're doing that and you've neglected us. And I was like, no, I haven't. But I will never take back them helping me find myself again after the relationship I had gotten out of. So
I think that's also a tough one too, is the friends that you have when you gain a new love relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're in that moment of things because your main focus is all about that relationship. And so friends come second at that time. And people can say that it's not true. It's absolutely true.
Yep.
Look, I've got family that every time they would get into a relationship, they drop off the face of the earth. You don't ever see them. You don't hear from them. They don't talk to you.
Yeah.
Until something bad happens. And then they circle back around and then they need your attention. They need you to be there for them.
Yep.
And that's not always a bad thing either. But I was going to ask you, what did you tolerate that you would never tolerate now from old Carrie to now, who you used to be?
Oh, that's a good one. Things that I would not tolerate now that I would. Backhanded comments, passive aggressive comments. I would always have been very direct, but if it was someone I loved, I would tolerate it more. Does that make sense? So now I'm just like, these are my boundaries and you will not speak to me like that.
It's good.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Because the moment you put boundaries up, people start running or you become the problem. But I think that's one thing that I would have, because the longer you allow it, you are teaching them how to treat you. So if you have always allowed someone to give you those backhanded comments or passive aggressiveness or the jealous comments that they play off as a joke, then that's what they're always going to do because you've never corrected it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Well, and I think I have a story that kind of goes hand in hand with that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to have a friend where we would talk all the time, almost every single day or every other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were completely locked in. It's just
Yeah.
how it was. And I noticed that when you would have those conversations with them, they would, if you had anything that was good that was going on in your life and you wanted to express that because your friend is your
Yep.
go-to, you tell them
Yep.
everything. I started noticing that they would change their subject almost as if like they weren't interested. And
Cut
it was
them off.
but you know what I mean?
Yep.
But back then my
Absolutely.
old self was like, I clap for you, why can't you clap for me?
Yeah.
And it was one of those mind trick things that I had to tell myself, like, why am I friends with someone that doesn't want to celebrate my
Absolutely.
wins when I celebrate yours?
Absolutely.
And so,
You got to cut them off.
Yeah.
And this is anybody now that's dealing with this. I mean, I know that I had to learn the hard way, but anybody that doesn't clap for you or you're trying to tell them something, and if they cannot genuinely care about who you as a person and not have a conversation
Mhm.
about them, they got to go.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like if I'm worried about you and you're only worried about yourself, we can't be friends. I had a friend like that.
yeah, I was going to ask
And
you, have you ever low-key had someone that didn't want to see you win?
Yes. And I was in this it wasn't a relationship, it was a friendship. With I love all of my friends.
Right.
Hard.
I know she
So-
got me a little Easter basket last week, y'all. I was
Yeah,
excited.
like I love my friends, and so I just had this friend that it was victim mindset. She would make comments of like, well, what would you do? And then I would tell her, and then she would do completely the opposite. So finally I just stopped giving my advice, and everything was woe is me. And, I'm the victim. And the reason she stayed the
Almost
victim.
like the boy cried wolf kind of
And
syndrome.
the reason she stayed the victim, by the way, you guys, is because they get more attention that way. Instead of finding growth in the situation and moving forward, it's like, well, if I stay here, then all these people will continue to give me attention. I had to cut her off. Now, mind you, I still speak to her here and there. Like,
Yeah.
you put them in a box, and I still
I
want.
think they become acquaintances at that
Yeah,
point.
box equals box.
If the shoe fits, you guys. If you guys are listening, the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits, I mean, it's okay to. But literally, I have a really good friend. She was going through some stuff last week. She called me and she asked me, right there, being the listening ear. She asked me how. Now, mind you, very, like my heart hurt for her. She asked me how I was, and I said, "Oh, and then I ran her like what I'm going through, and then the conversation stopped. And she completely turned and was like, "What can I do for you?" And I was like, "Whoa, you're the one going through some deep crap right now.
Yeah.
Like, and you want to help me?" Those are the friends you need in your corner.
I agree.
Like, those are the people, like, it has to be a two-way street, honestly. There's going to be days where conversations are just about her, and there's going to be conversations that are just about me, and then there's going to be conversations that are genuinely about both of us, and those are the people you want in your corner, always.
I love that. I do. I love when you can have a conversation with somebody and you can both talk to each other about your situations and then express concern or what can I do for you to
Yep.
the other person, where it's not a one-sided conversation the
Mhm.
entire time. I recently have had a situation like that with I do still consider them a friend. I do. I absolutely love them to death. But I noticed I did have to have that tough love conversation. I let it go on for a really long time, and it was because I was concerned about them. You want to be there for them. But I noticed, like I said, that I couldn't really talk about the good things that were happening
Yeah.
in my life because I was having to stay so focused and concerned on all the stuff they were having,
Yeah.
the trauma, the drama. And I had to have that tough love conversation on the phone and say, look, I love you, but I don't want every conversation that I have with you on the phone to be just about you.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to be that person that's like, what about me? But
it is.
you have yet to ask me about what's going on in my life.
It's the love cup. You keep dumping out of your cup
Yeah.
into your friend, and then eventually you're going to be drained, and she's not dumping back into yours.
But look,
you know what
there-
I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
mhm,
There, I was going to say, like 6 months ago, I had a lot going on in my personal life.
mhm.
I was fighting demons. I was trying to find my new journey, all this other
Yep.
kind of stuff. So I had a lot going on with me. And to have that phone conversation, I think that was just the chip off the block on
Yep.
that one, because it was just like, you have yet to ask me what's going on in my life.
Yep.
I'm always here about yours
Yep.
and your situation, your issues that you have. And you have yet to ask me what I'm going through,
Yep.
not even knowing if mine is worse
Yep.
or if yours, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I didn't cut that relationship off. I just had to draw that line.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was going to also ask you too. Have you ever had, when those situations come up, does it hurt you or does it just wake you up?
Destroys me.
It destroys you.
It destroys me. I pour a lot into my friendships.
Yeah.
And the moment that I have to pull that plug, or draw the line and now I still have thoughts of like, a friend that I cut off 5 years ago sent me a chapter book last week and I will not respond. That door does not need to be opened, because I know the communication on her side and I'm not willing to be in a conversation with one side pretty much.
So you don't think that there's an opportunity there for waking up that conversation and continuing that growth? Because the reason why I say this, and hear me out when I say it, is I felt like by me waking up that conversation in the midst of everything that was going down, it was almost like you're waking them up from the cloud that surrounds their head of all the negativity, the bad black cloud that's over their head. And by cutting off that rain, you're bringing them back into the light. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying with that? Maybe they got distracted by their concerns.
Only in the moment, because then they're going to go back. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you get in a relationship with someone, you really have to know who this person is.
It's true. That's true.
Because some people just don't change. Respectfully, I probably could have a conversation with her or any of these friend groups, but being receptive of what I'm saying is not going to go anywhere. My friend Leah has always told me we don't reheat old French fries.
I like Leah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's like a relationship boy or like a friendship. She's like, we don't reheat old French fries. And I'm like, you're right. That door was closed for a reason. And now, especially in my journey now, when a door closes, it is not my responsibility to reopen it. Do I have friends that okay, and I want to go back to you like saying like every conversation shouldn't just always be about you. I do think that there is a healthy part of you relating to whatever the conversation is and being able to give positive feedback. And that's not a one-upper. You know how like you have a conversation, they're like, well, I went through this or I did this. If you can find growth and being like, hey, I actually went through something very similar and this is how I came out of it. I think it's one thing to do it that way instead of being like, oh, well, I also went through that and now I'm here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I just feel like it's the same way with family too. So, because I don't want this whole segment to be just about friends. I feel like it's the different people that come into your life, the different seasons of people that come into your life. But I know, because we were talking about who we used to be, and I wanted to ask you, with what we're talking about, what's changed us and all the stuff that we're doing, when did you notice that moment that changed you from who you used to be to who you are now? Do you remember that? Like, what was that tipping point that you finally realized that I have to change this persona of me?
I actually think
Miss Mean Girl Carrie.
I know. I'm so sorry. I actually don't know. I think it started gradually happening where I started being more mindful of my actions and my words. I've hurt a lot of people with my words.
But was it somebody that changed your mind? Was it something you heard or read? Or did you just realize in your life, I need to make a change in myself?
I think I realized in my life that I didn't want to be confrontational. I didn't want to be the person that always had something to say. I didn't want to be that person.
Right.
You know, the ones that, you know, people get around and they're instantly tense because they don't know what they're going to say. And it's not because they're Billy Badass. It's because they're just really immature. Right. It's one thing to be direct with your words, but I'm telling you, you will get a lot more bees with honey if you are just clear with your communication and clear with your words with people, instead of being like, yeah, I think you should do this, or you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Like, that's just ignorance.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. I watch a lot of people, especially on my social media, be keyboard warriors, right? They're so badass. They talk all this stuff on there about how they're gonna pop off, and it's like eventually you're 35 years old. When are you gonna grow up?
Look, there are still some of those people that I'm asking that question to all the time.
Right? At some point, I think that's where I started growing, and I will probably say where I identified that there was growth happening was I had a friend who was like, oh, she ain't gonna talk to me like that. And I had a birthday party. She shows up. Another friend who is like that shows up. And that friend leaves and she's like, oh, I don't like her. And I said, well, you weren't going to say that to her face.
I do remember you saying that.
You want to call her back and have her come here? And then that friendship was ending. And we had a third friend who tried to three-way us. And she was like, I have nothing to say to her. And I was like, perfect. Like, you don't have anything to say. This conversation is dead. I'm over it. We're moving forward. So, and I never opened that door again. I don't need to talk to you. But now that I look back, had I evaluated who she was as a person, by the way, gave her a lot of advice. She was, I want to know some tea. Y'all are going to all go back through y'all are going to go through my social media and try to find out which friend this is. Okay. Her husband had an affair on her. Okay.
Oh,
you ready? Okay. Her friend had an affair on her. Her husband had an affair on her. She befriends the husband of the woman that he had the affair with.
Oh.
And they talk all the time. So when she tells me this, I go, oh, absolutely not. You are no better than what he did to you, right? So I was always hard on her about this. Like, what you are doing is, so come to find out, there was a lot more that happened. And I was like, I should have never been in that friendship anyways. Good gracious. That is crazy. But in that moment, right? So when that friendship started falling off because she was ugly and I corrected her, not in an ugly way. She was being ugly. And I was saying like, hey, this is not okay. You weren't going to say that in front of her. Mm-hmm. So why are you saying it now? Like, I like to tell people, like, if you're going to say something, stand 10 toes down on it, right? Yeah. And she was like, I'm not talking to her anymore. I was like, well, good. Door's closed. Bye. Crazy. Go back through my friends list and try to find out who it is. Crazy.
Have you ever outgrown somebody but kept them around you anyways?
No.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Are we talking like still interact with them on like a daily, weekly basis, or are we talking about that acquaintance that we put in the box?
Oh, no, I feel like, well, because I have that question in my notes, but I'm thinking to myself, like when I wrote it, in my mindset, I was thinking more of like work-life space. I feel like you can outgrow somebody that you work with, but because they're around you all the time, Monday through Friday, like okay, maybe that doesn't make sense. I'm trying to think of like you outgrow someone, meaning that you're not in their inner circle anymore, but you keep them around anyways. They're just in your life regardless. Maybe that's an experience for someone's family. Like you've outgrown somebody in your family, but they're going to be around you anyways.
Yeah. But I think that comes with...
That was a horrible question, I'm sure.
No, it's okay. But when you said family, it for me, friendships, I can cut off. Like,
well, because you can outgrow family as well.
So I have outgrown family. There's a lot of people. I'm blocked on a lot of people, a lot of my family's social media.
You almost made me spit coffee.
If I'm being honest, I am. People don't like how I use my words. I'll say that. Right? Everybody is just so defensive nowadays. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you would say that.
I don't even think it's defensive. I think they're just sensitive.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
More sensitive now.
Like everybody's sensitive now. Like, I think one thing that people should understand about me is if it's coming from me now, it's coming from a genuine place. So, like, I don't talk to two of my aunts, one of my uncles. I don't care. Like, I'm not going, just who they are as people. They're just not in my inner circle. Now, can I show up to a family function and be cordial? Absolutely. Can they be cordial? No way.
Can I be honest?
That's going to make me act out of character, and we ain't going there.
I have to be honest. When it comes to family, I am a very family-oriented person. However, I do also believe, too, like, we didn't get to choose who our family was. You were kind of just born into it. So who says that you have to love every family member that's in your tree?
Let me tell you something.
Your timeline. Like, no.
I don't care that we are family. You are going to respect me. I have told my mother, bless her soul, I told her, you will not talk to me like that. I'm a grown-ass woman. If you want respect, you better give it to me.
So my family, I think my family is very respectful of me. I mean, obviously, there's some family that it took them a little while to wrap their heads around the kind of person that I was,
Yeah.
which I've never changed, you guys. My personality has always been
Yeah.
the same. This is who I am. You
Yeah.
like me or you don't. And I
Yeah.
don't really give a...
Yeah.
But the thing is that with that being said, there are some people in my family I'm just like, why? Why? And then we've also got, okay, so I grew up very poor.
Mhm.
So we do have that side of my family. And then we also have the really rich side of my family. They tend to, I'm not going to say be stuck up, but I do feel like they've got their own life over here. We have our life over here.
Mhm.
We're making do. We're making do. But then you got doctors and nurses and paralegals and firefighters and shit on this side.
Yeah.
I love my family, but that's how it is. But I don't know where I was going with this. I just feel like you can outgrow family as well,
Yeah.
or just cut people off that are in your family that just don't fit your vibe, don't fit your style. I got a couple assholes in my family. I don't want to be nowhere near you.
Yeah.
That's just not me.
Yeah. I don't know who made the rule of like, oh, their family, that's all you have.
It's the
actually
blood.
It's actually not.
Because if you're dying, you're going to need their blood.
Respectfully, I don't want their blood. I'd rather die. But
I got O positive.
I don't know. I don't know who made that rule of like their family, you have to be nice to them. No, we don't. I literally, right?
I think it's just tradition.
I feel like things move differently in my life before they happen, right? And I think with this last friendship that I had in my family, I was already struggling with like, how do I cut them off? Like, morals and values, we didn't align. Parenting, we didn't align. So I don't want to be around people like that. And then something happened within our family of, with their kid and someone that's always been in my life, and they got upset with me. And when she texted me, I was like, I can't believe you would say that. I was like, girl, I stand 10 toes down on what I said, is exactly what I responded to her. Okay.
Okay, I do want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever been the person someone outgrew?
I don't know.
The ones that told you like, I'm done with you.
No. I don't know if you guys know this, and maybe this is me like patting my own back, but I'm a hell of a person to have in your life. And I bring a lot of equity to someone's life. I feel like I do all the outgrowing. And that's because I literally tell people, like, if we're not going to grow together, there's going to come a time where you get left behind.
Yeah.
I can't think of any best friend label that has walked away from me. I mean, I guess the woman with the affair, she cut that friendship.
I will say, I think I've had somebody that has outgrown me,
Mm-hmm.
or I wouldn't say necessarily that they outgrew me. I think they said it before I could.
Mm-hmm.
It's the better way of putting it, because I felt like I didn't have a falling out with this person that I was friends with, and nothing had ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was one of those things that every time we would have a conversation, it just felt like it was being forced.
Yeah.
That when we would have that conversation, you were almost having to find things to talk about with them.
Yeah.
To keep them relevant in your life.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that.
I think I was being nice, and so
we're
I would
not
just
doing
keep
that in 2026.
Well, of course, but I'm saying like people that we outgrow. I felt like the conversation was just always forced. Like we're talking about shit that I don't even care.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about the weather?
Yeah.
I don't get it. As adults, why do we talk about the damn weather like that's supposed to be a part of your conversation?
Oh yeah, no.
But
not over here.
They actually told me that this wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I said I agree, but I feel like if I were to ask that question to myself, that would be the person I would be talking about. I feel like because they got to it before I did.
Yeah.
They were just like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And they just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
It didn't end in a bad way.
Mm.
But I don't know.
I was getting ready to tell you something, and then
I thought you were gonna say I had something on my face.
No. I do think that. Oh, I know. I was gonna tell you. Okay. I will tell you that when me and these friends.
Y'all, she is passionate on this episode. I don't know if you can hear the loudness in her voice this time around.
When me and friends, like me and whatever, break up,
mm-hmm.
friendship breakups, right, are hard. Usually the other friends in the group always pick the other person's side. Guess who they always come back home to? Mama.
Oh my Lord.
But they do, because at the end of the day,
I feel like there's a little bit of slight old Carrie in there somewhere. Like all the way in this back compartment back here, there's a little bit.
No, but for real, like I do. I had a friend, the one that sent me the long message, and we had a mutual friend who did not come with me whenever I exited the relationship, and she is the one that sends me happy birthday every year, which is crazy. I had a dream about her last night. Wild.
Probably because you knew we were going to talk about this on the episode.
And my recent friend group, when everybody started falling out of the circle of this one girl, they all started coming back. And luckily, I did keep a relationship with majority of the girls. And I just told them at the beginning, I know that you were friends with her as well, and I'm not going to put you in a position where you have to choose. So I'm going to actually step back, still love you from afar, still talk to you, and we'll see what the future holds for us.
Yeah.
But I knew that I'd never wanted to put my friend in a position where she felt like she had to pick between us. And it played out the way it needed to, and they came
I've been
back.
in a couple scenarios like that. I didn't stand around to wait to find out either.
Yeah.
Like you said, I feel like you just wait. I mean, if they come back, they come back. If they don't, they don't. Our lives don't stop just because yours is in a weird situation, which
I think this kind of goes back though. Like, I'm okay being by myself. I'm okay not having a lot of friends.
I am now.
I think before I used to do like quantity over quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody did.
And I'm completely okay with just having a couple of friends.
But with that being said, I also think with that mindset I blame it on social media. Let's take it back to MySpace days. I feel like people used to get so pissed if they were not in your top 8 on your profile page. And then what happened after that is we graduated to Facebook. And then it was who could have the most friends.
And now,
do you even know half of the damn people in your friends list? Because I know I don't.
And now it's your pins on iPhone. Mine is my husband, Leah, and Jamie, then my kids, and then my boss, and then my group chat with my 4 best friends, and then
am I in that or no?
Amy Childress and Kayliana. No,
dang.
You're not.
Look at that. See,
we have like 8 groups though. We have like one without Angie, we have one without Sharon, we have one without Amy, we have one without Josh. Y'all probably have one without me. Like, I think we have so many group chats going.
Yeah.
It's insane. But
I do like the fact that I just want a small inner circle.
Yeah.
A small inner circle, because I feel like when you have too big of a circle of friends, that's where things start to get congested. People start to choose sides. They start finding the thing. And I'll be honest, I'm friends with a lot more females than I am men. And so I feel like that's where I get kind of left out of those groups is because they're going to do the girly things. And because I'm still a guy, I'm kind of on the outskirt sides of that. But you can always bring me for pickleball.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be there. But I actually wanted to jump into the next segment, which is talking about the hard truths. I feel like we need to talk about that.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask, do you think some people are only meant for certain chapters of your life?
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
I think it's healthy to close chapters. I think if you're not closing chapters and I said this on the last episode that I was on, if you are not changing friends,
you made it sound like you should be in a cycle.
No. If you're in a cycle of friends and if you can't hang on to a friend, then
there's something deep wrong with you.
But I do believe that you should be cycling through friends. They're all going to come in for, like I said, as much as I hated the breakup of my last friend group, they healed me a lot. And I actually wrote this long letter to my best friend who was pretty much the ringleader of the rest of them. And I wrote her a long letter and it was very respectful. And I said, I admire these things about you, but I believe that our story is coming to 2 different paths and that's okay.
Well, because I feel like not everyone is meant for every version of you.
Right. So I'm taking this road, the high road, because I still want her to eat and I still want her to do well. And she's over here just downing me and trashing me and still stalking me from a burner account. Like,
Feel
that's why,
flattered.
by the
Feel
way,
flattered.
that's why my stuff is public. Like, I'm over here, taking the high road and doing things like that. But I do believe that people come in for just a season. It is okay to close the chapter. Does it suck? I don't think people actually talk about like friendship breakups enough. It hurts.
Yeah.
I still think about them. I still want them to do better. The girl that messaged me last week said in the message, it states like, you made me the woman I am today. And
I mean, it's something to be proud of.
is it?
Because I mean,
but listen, that wasn't the woman that I was with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was teaching you this stuff and you weren't.
So maybe they're on their growth journey and they're starting to backtrack.
And maybe they are. And
yeah, I'll give some credit to that.
At the end of the day, that's great. And that's what I want for you over there.
Yeah.
Because I endured a lot of hurt and damage in some of these friendships.
Right.
There was a lot of baggage that I held that was not mine to carry. So
Yeah,
for
I've been
me, I don't want to open that because I have come to peace with my life and with my small circle of friends.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I feel like there are people that are meant to be in your life for who you used to be, or they're only meant to be in your life for who you used to be.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
Because and that's the thing. When we progress, you pick up friends that start to fill that vibe of your lifestyle.
Yep.
And
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, because we talked about when we first met.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you and I would have been friends 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't. And and it's not that that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was because we were in different versions of our life and different stages. And so, I take it back and I expose myself and very vulnerable about it, that I grew up as a coward in a sense that I grew up in an abusive childhood. Not my mother.
Yeah.
It was stepfathers.
Yeah.
And so I felt like a coward. I felt like I was always being downed or being, bashed in a sense. And so growing up as a young adult, you tend to be timid and scared of everything.
Yep.
And then jumping into the military, and then it's like mainly men that you got to be friends with. And it's like, how do you be a bro when you're used to men beating you down?
Yeah.
And so when I got out of the military, it was a whole different experience for me. So I don't know where you and I would have been if we were in the same room back then. We probably were and didn't even know it.
You know what's crazy to me now? Like, people I was friends with now that hate my guts. And I think it's because people are so sensitive now that like everything, they get offended about everything. And I'm like, why are you still following me if you hate me? Like, we used to be friends, and that version of me you should have hated. Like, and you love that version of me. But why would you? And to be honest with you, it's because growth intimidates people.
It does, but not only
because it makes you have to take accountability for what you're doing in your life to ask yourself why you're not where I'm at right now. Point blank, period.
But I also think it's like the silent competition. And I think we talked about that in a previous episode.
I'm in competition with no one. Like, you should never be in competition with me.
But it's not that. I think it's because people... you say that, why are you still following me and all this other kind of stuff? But I do think it's because some people get so envious that you have the lifestyle that they want, that they follow you to feed off of that, thinking that by feeding off of it, it's going to give them something better in their life when it doesn't. But then you see them, you pop up on their timeline and they're scrolling, and then they hate you and they want to say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then just unfollow or keep scrolling or take me off.
Or like the people that peaked in high school. Like, I'm sorry that you peaked in high school. That's not my fault. Like,
I'm not saying this is everybody, but why is that always the popular kids typically peak at high school? And then it's the nerds and the geeks that get bullied tend to be the ones that
honestly
uprise.
How I feel, though. Like, I feel the people that peaked in high school with me are the ones that are targeting me right now. And I'm like, I didn't do anything to you. Like, we all used to be friends. What are you talking about?
I know we graduated differently.
Yeah.
But there is a popular cheerleader my senior year that has bagged my groceries at Walmart. Legit. Like, when I moved back from the military and I saw it, I was like, whoa, and you're pregnant. Like, a lot's changed.
Yeah.
Now there's 2 chins. Okay, got it.
That was me. Take it back right now.
Take
it back right now.
I apologize. But it wasn't meant that way. It wasn't meant that way. It just shows you that high school is not everything. So if there are teenagers listening to this too, like things do not stay.
No.
Body parts don't stay where they're supposed to. You don't stay where you're supposed to. And it was just
No.
crazy that I was a band geek nerd, fat band geek nerd my senior year when I graduated.
Yeah.
I definitely have had a glow up for sure.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see those that progress over those that you thought were going to be the
Yeah.
all-stars, and
Yeah.
they were going to be the big CEOs
Yeah.
of businesses. And really what's happening is it's the ones that you guys treated unfairly in school are now the ones that
Yep.
are chumping.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think that has anything to do with this episode, but
But no, I do think though, like,
I
just.
definitely outgrew them.
Yeah, I definitely outgrew them too, and that's okay. But like the difference between you and I is not you and I, like
Yeah.
you and I, is I want you guys to still eat, and you guys want me to starve, and it's absolutely insane how much hate that I get for being pretty, or I get for being outgoing, or I some of these friend groups that I had. They would try to morph to my identity. I'm sorry, there's only one Carrie Norris. There's only one Carrie Deemers.
Yeah.
Like, you will never be me, and that's okay. But they would like try to like change the way they talk, change the way they dress, change the way they did their hair and makeup, and I would be like, so then when they realized that they would never be me, then we started having an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? I haven't done anything to you. Like, I literally am trying to make you better. But I think it just goes back to like the morals and values and where you want to see yourself and who's going to get on the wagon with you.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the minivan. Have you ever heard the minivan theory?
No.
So
Tell us.
Okay, so the minivan theory is people are going to come and go in your life, right? Some are going to fully exit and some are going to stay around. But they don't get the passenger seat with you because that's who you're in the line with in that season. But they can maybe sit on the next row. And the next row are the people that are directly in contact with you that do
Uber.
who continue to have some kind of involvement in your life. And then the very back row are the people that are just acquaintances now, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But there's just different rows. There's just different stages of life and where a friend is put at. I will tell you right now, I have like 3 friends that would probably be sitting in the passenger seat with me. So we probably have like a long, like no console in between us. We're all just sitting there together, and those are my life supports. Those are the ones.
That's those old pickup truck seats.
Yep, those are the ones. Everybody else in the
Fit
back
4
of the
people in it. All you see is the back of their heads.
But those are the people that I want in my life. That when I pick the phone up, no matter what, they are genuinely worried about me or care about me or. I mean, Leah calls me every Tuesday morning and tell me what she thinks about the podcast.
Oh, this makes me real nervous.
No, every morning, and she gives me honest feedback. But it's because
We love
it's
you, Leah.
something that I am passionate about that she cares about me. And I tell people all the time, like, I know I neglect my friendships. It's just not my best. Like, I care about you, but sometimes I have to remember, like, you know that saying, like, if it crosses your heart, you should do it. If one of my friends crossed my heart and I haven't talked to them, I'm like, crap, I need to reach out. So I did this last week with Jamie. I'm like, I have not talked to you. I am so sorry. Our lives get busy, but these are the friendships that are low maintenance that no matter what I'm doing or how much time has passed, they do not hold a grudge at me. Where the other friends I have be like, oh, I haven't talked to you today. Like, why are you being mean to me? Or why, you're being selfish or you're this or you're that. And it's like, actually, I have a life. That's why.
I'm glad that you said that. And I love that we're always bringing these little analogies because it's a fun way to really put yourself in that mindset. But I like the way that you said it, the low maintenance friends.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I think I've always told myself, like, you have the best friends and then you have the secondary friends.
Mm-hmm.
Not that one is better than the other. There's just main
your
focus.
minivan friends.
Yeah. But it's your mains,
Mm-hmm.
the people that are always going to be there to pick you up, pick up the phone, and no matter what.
Yep.
And then you've got the other friends that you don't have to talk to every day.
Yep.
And they're still going to be there when you guys hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. That's why I love this because it gives us a different way and a different perspective of looking at it. I feel like my gum was about to fall out of my mouth just now. Okay, so I did want to ask you, is it selfish to choose yourself over people you've known for years?
Absolutely not. My favorite word right now is no.
That's my favorite word.
I think we get wrapped up on the years, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, well, you've been friends with them for 5, 10, 25 years. But at some point, when do you pick yourself? Because you guys, we are picking friendships based off of a length of time. So I will give this to you guys. If you guys are in a relationship that you feel like may be coming to an end and you are hung up on the years,
Yeah.
then you just need to ask yourself, if I was to meet them right now, would I be friends with them? And if the answer is no, then you need to cut that friendship off. In the day, you still want them to eat, you still want them to succeed in life, but it's a weight, right? Yeah. There's something holding you down. I went through a friendship like this where I felt like I was being weighed down. I still want her to eat, but there's just no room in my life for what she had. Things that we should get away from are people that are always negative. If you're around someone that everything that comes out of their mouth is negative, you gotta go. You gotta let them go.
Gotta go.
Anybody
Cut
that
'em off.
is not trying to take self-reflecting or taking accountability or anything that is not allowing them to find some type of growth daily, weekly, they've got to go.
Yeah.
People that are only self-centered, they got to go. Like, we as humans, until you detach, you will be constantly weighed down and you will never be able to elevate to where you're going. So.
Well, on that note, the last segment I want to talk about, because we've covered a lot of ground here, gotten real deep about it. I want to know this segment. I want to call it like what it taught us.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the questions I had on here is, what did losing people teach you about yourself?
What did losing people teach me? I don't know.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you've talked about it for the whole episode. I think it's just putting it into smaller words.
I feel like
I'm not trying to stumper you guys. I write these questions down over, we talk about it. We write them down, and over the weekend we think about them and try to figure out what's the best way to present them. But I guess when I think about that is, what did losing people teach you about yourself? I think it just taught me, like for me, it taught me that I can be stronger, that I can say no.
Yeah.
And I've spent majority of my life being the yes man.
Yeah.
And and maybe I'm very older in my years of just now starting to learn my worth and my well-being, my morals and values as well. But I think with that comes your inner circle of friends, the ones that remind you that you're better than that, you deserve more. And I think that's why I respect and cherish the friends that I currently have in my inner circle, my minivan friends. And we're going to hashtag that. Hashtag minivan friends. But it taught me that I'm worth more.
Yeah.
I deserve more.
I love that. Yeah, I'll agree. What my worth is definitely high up there. That's what.
And we talk about this almost every episode.
I know. I think I just got a little stomach. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, definitely what my worth is. What I bring to the table, what I can do for someone. I do want to say, though, if you guys have friends, if they are not bringing any type of growth to you, positive vibes, whatever you guys want to call it.
Oh my gosh, you answered my next question before I even read it.
Oh, what was it?
What kind of people do you value now that you didn't before?
I like people that correct me.
Well, I was going to say what you were just talking about fit perfect for that question.
Yeah, I do. People that are bringing
constructive criticism.
Yeah, like right. So it's
because
just
only makes you better.
It's choosing people that the deliverance is good.
Absolutely.
Like if you are being ugly about it to someone where they're going to be very cut off and not receptive to it, then you're not doing anything except for being a mean person. Yeah. Where if someone can sit down with me and say, hey, the way you handled that was not normally what you would do. Or, hey, like maybe take a second thought about this. Well, I guess that was a second guess. Anyways, maybe deliver it a little differently, or, hey, you are making the right choice. I'll support you in whatever decision you make.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like we've covered all the questions that I had on there, because I was like, how has your circle changed and why? I mean, your circle has changed a lot, I think, from old Carrie 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, 5 years ago, 3 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. My circle changed. Conversations went from gossip to
Light and spiritual and happy.
and yeah. Oh, my circle
Your new
right
journey's
now.
great.
Yeah.
I love seeing it.
Thanks. Yeah, definitely just oh, that's what I was going to say. My group went from gossip to purpose, and
Oh, that's
I
good.
could not ask for anything more right now. My friend group now, it does not matter who I reach out to. If I tell them something, I'm not going to be judged. I don't need to fear what's going to come. I know whatever is coming back at me is going to be genuine
Yeah.
and only for the well-being of me. So
I will say
that just made my heart feel good.
I can't help but think to myself when we have this conversation on this episode is that I don't know what my future holds. I don't know what your future holds, but I will say that I'm very grateful for the friends that I currently have.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say whether or not those friends will follow me into my future chapters.
Yep.
But I'm very grateful for what I have now because I feel like, just like we always say, everything happens for a reason. There are people that are put into your life at different versions and chapters of where you're going.
Yep.
That are supposed to lead you on that path.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you're going to take the wrong path and you're going to make new friends
Yep.
that are going to detour you back to get back on that path you're supposed to be on. And so I think it's the same thing with relationships.
Yeah.
We have relationships that are put in our way, speed bumps and stop signs,
Yep.
that the red flags that are basically telling you don't go this way, turn back around. And then I feel like when you find your soulmate, when you find that good core of friends, you know you're on the right path. You're heading towards where you're supposed to be going. Go to the light, y'all. Go to the light. Not that light, but that light. Did that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree 110%. I think that things that people need to understand are people are going to come and go from your life. But when
it's healthy.
Yeah, it is.
It's very healthy.
And
doesn't have to always be bad.
Yeah. Do they suck? Absolutely, because we're just human and breaking up with anybody sucks. But at the end of the day, you're going to get on track with people that are going to lead you in the right direction with the same morals and values. Those are the things that we need to be basing things off of. Yep. If you're in a friend group and you don't condone cheating and someone in your group is cheating, then you got to get out. Like you can't sit there and make excuses for things like that. You can't make excuses for people who talk down to other people. Or big thing, I will not be in a friend group where materialistic value is what gives them value. I won't be like, if materialistic things hold value to you, I can't be in a friend group with you because I am not that person. Yeah. Like money and value, like obviously do we all want to live a good life? Absolutely. But when you think that a vehicle or a nice house or going on vacations is what gives you value, then I don't want it. Like I don't want to be in a friend group anymore. Last friend group that was bought. She bought our friendships. She paid for everything.
Old Todd would have loved that friendship.
Yeah, no.
But what I mean,
because the moment that I pulled out is like, well, I paid for this for her, and I paid for that for her, and I paid for, and I'm like, ew. Like you can't, like when I buy something for, like I bought you a small Easter basket, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not like, oh well, I bought you that Easter basket, so you have to be nice to me now, right? No, but.
I mean, she did have my favorite Alani in there. The lime slush is my favorite.
And
right
how
now.
many times? And how many times have you come to the office and I had a lime slush on?
Yeah.
Because I said, "Oh, I saw that and I thought of you." And never once am I like, "Are you going to bring me something back? Are you going to put something on my desk?" No, because my love language to my friends is I'm a gift giver. I did make some really cute little cups for the girls.
Yeah, I saw them.
They're really cute.
The
boys are a little.
Hey, I'm down for it. I mean, it's. I think it's a very rare period to like. I mean, you always get gifts, but like, I think it's there's some holidays that you just don't anticipate or expect to receive gifts for. I think it's always the traditional ones that you always see. It's the birthdays, the anniversaries, the I was about to say the baby caraways. I don't know what I was saying.
What in the world?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where I was going with that. Anyways, getting back on subject. I guess the best way that I want to end this podcast is I do feel like you can love someone and you can still outgrow them to be the better version of yourself.
Yeah.
And
if someone outgrows you, don't take it personal. If you do anything, try to find some growth in yourself and find new people to grow with. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I love that.
It's a good one.
Yeah. It's going to make me cry a little.
All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to conclude our episode
Yeah.
this week of Growth Comes with Goodbyes.
Yep.
So you guys know the drill. If you liked what you heard today, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our podcast.
Yep.
And, excuse me, I'm trying to get over being sick, you guys. But you can also watch or listen to us on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. And make sure to follow us on TikTok if you have an account. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the support and all of our followers. Thank you so much. And welcome back, Carrie.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
See you next week.